So hello guys, welcome back. Okay, so in this video I'll teach you about how do you use UFW command. So UFW command stands for uncomplicated firewall. It is basically a command used to manipulate or what manage the firewall settings. Let's say you need to on the firewall, you use UFW, or else you need to off the firewall, you use UFW. It is basically a tool for managing firewalls rules in Debian based Linux distributions. Okay, so let's play with this command. Okay, so the syntax of UWF commands will be like this, and okay, so this will be the syntax of UFW command. Okay, let's play with that. Now let's say that you need to enable the firewall. How do you do that? So you need to specify UFW enable, so this will enable the firewall. Okay, so if you need to play with the firewalls, you need to be root privileges. You can't change the firewall settings in a user mode. Okay, now we need to give the password. So this will basically activate and enable our system setup. Okay, so firewall is basically some kind of walls. Let's say you have a home, then you have a compound. So that compound will protect you from animals coming inside, like let's say dogs coming inside, or any people coming inside. You will have a gate, then the gate will make a sound so that you will come to know that somebody is coming inside. Okay, so if you use compound, there is only one way to come in, that will be a gate. So the firewall is nothing but it is same like a compound where you use to a building, or where you use to a house. So firewalls basically protect you from IP addresses or the threats which what hackers using that IP address or anything to attack your system. So that is where the firewalls comes in to protect you from threats. Okay, let's say that now my system is protected by a firewall. Let's say that I don't need that wall, I don't need that firewall. You can also do disable it. So this is how you can disable it, the firewall. If you do like this, the firewall will be disabled and your system will be vulnerable to hackers. Okay, okay, let's enable it back. I need a firewall. I can't be without firewall. Okay, now let's say that in your firewall you are transferring something. You are watching some videos. For watching that videos, you need some TCP connections. Let's say you are sending some WhatsApp messages in a terminal, then you need a TCP connection to be allowed in that particular terminal, in that firewall. So what do? You do UFW allow and 22/TCP. So this will basically allow the TCP communication inside my system. Okay, you need root privilege. Okay, whatever the changes you do using this UWF, that will be for firewall, right? So you need to use root privileges or administration privileges. So this will basically run the script. This will basically say that firewall, please allow the 22 port address or a TCP port address, so that this system can communicate with other system using TCP connections. Okay, let's say let's say that instead of specifying 22 numbers like this, you can also specify in a word. Let's say you need to enable Apache server. You need to enable Apache server to be connected to a web server. Let's say UFW and allow. So this will basically could not find Apache PACHE. So instead of Apache, like let's say anything. Let's say HTTPS this will also yeah, instead of Apache I used HTTPS. So my firewall will allow all the HTTP requests to come inside my system or to connect to my system. Okay, now let's say you need to disable this HTTPS, or you need to cancel that. You enabled it, right? So you allow the tier 22, that will be TCP, to come to connect to my system. Now I need to disable it. How do you do that? You use UFW and you type deny 23 slash TCP. So this will basically stop the TCP to be connected to connect to my system. Okay, so I need TCP, so I'll allow it. Okay, I'm just showing an example. Okay, now let's say this is rule 6, right? Rule added, rule updated, rule 6 version 6, something like that. So what is this rule? So if you need to delete this rule, you can do like this: UFW delete and the rule number, that will be 3 or 4 or 5 something. If you press enter, that particular rule will be deleted. I don't need to do that because I don't know what the 3 means. Okay, so this will be the syntax for to delete the rule. Okay, let's say that you need to reset the firewall. How do you do that? You just specify UFW and reset. This will reset the firewall to the default. Okay, let's say, how do you see the status of this firewall? How do you let's say that how do you come to know that if the firewall is running or if it is not running? How do you come to know? So you can do status, that will basically show the firewall is running or not. So now the firewall is not running. Now I'll just enable it. Now after enabling it, if I see status, it will show the status is active. So this is how you can reset, or you can see the status, or you can see see the status. Sorry, you can enable it and you can disable it. So you can also use man page with UFW. So you can see many arguments that can be used by this UFW command. UFW UFW version, you can see the version, that will be 0.32. Okay, so this is all up, guys, and this is why we use UFW to play with firewall settings. Okay, thank you for watching.